In this video, we'll showcase the intricate construction and operation of our latest Gravitrax track, Les Portes du Soleil. Before diving into the construction details, let's take a quick look at how the track operates. The track features 6 parallel, sinuous lanes. In the first half of the track, marbles travel from right to left on inclined transparent plates. Upon reaching the left edge of the plates, the marbles fall through funnels into catchers. In the second part of their journey, the marbles move back from left to right. For this, they follow another inclined route, until they return to the right edge of the construction. At that point, a series of coil E-lifts awaits to raise them to various heights, ranging from plus 20 cm to plus 22.5 cm. After leaving the top of the lifts, the marbles quickly descend through spirals of varying heights. Then they start their journey down the inclined slopes once more. The parallel lanes can be numbered from 1 to 6. The front and back lanes, lane 1 and lane 6, are operated by silver marbles. The coil E-lifts continuously raising these marbles are modular lifts produced by CM3D. The second lane is operated by green marbles, the fourth by blue, and the fifth by red marbles. The third lane contains a variety of marbles with different colors. Each center lane, lanes 2 to 5, begins with an identical coil E-lift produced by Shurem 2804. Now, let's take a closer look at the lifts. Let's begin by positioning the 4 identical Shurem 2804 lifts on the left side of the table. We've previously showcased these lifts in detail, such as in the video from January 25, 2024 about E-lifts. They continuously lift marbles to a height of plus 22 cm at a speed of 2.4 cm per second. On either side of the previous lifts, we place 2 further ones produced by CM3D. These modular lifts have also been showcased in previous videos, such as the quickly up and down video from November 1, 2023. Here we use one with only 2 7.5 cm extension modules. It lifts marbles to a height of plus 22.5 cm at a speed of 1.4 cm per second. With the lifts in place, let's now build the ramps that guide the marbles to them on the lower level. We begin by adding a row of stackers near the entrances of all the lifts. On top of these, we add angled stackers to ensure that no queuing marble gets stuck. Since we didn't have enough classical stackers, like those found in trampoline extension boxes, we used a few alternatives as well. In a previous video from February 2024 about angled stackers, we detailed how to construct these DIY versions. In the next step, we cover the stackers with I-tiles. Then connect each of these to the lift entrances using curved rails. This ensures that marbles do not get stuck at the lift entrances. We proceed with the construction of the ramp, beginning by placing a series of stacker columns. These columns are then covered with curved tiles, which are subsequently connected to the I-tiles using long straight rails. For the next step, we require a very special element, a bridge exclusively produced by Shurem 2804. Around this bridge, we begin constructing a special framework, utilizing additional bridges and stackers. We'll explore the purpose of this specific construction later on. In the next step, we construct the next row of stacker columns. These columns are also covered by curved tiles. Except for the 2 central lanes, we'll see later why, the curved tiles of the last 2 rows are also connected by rails. Following that, a 4th row of stacker columns is constructed, then covered by curved tiles. These tiles are also connected to the previous ones by rails. Afterward, the special construction previously built is replicated. On it, a 5th and final row of stacker columns is constructed. However, here instead of normal stackers, light base extensions and light stackers are used to construct the desired columns. Later on, when running the track, these lights proved useful for labeling each lane with the proper color. On top of the light stackers, we now place angled stackers once more. On these, we then position catchers, oriented towards the lifts. These are then connected to the previous curved tiles with long rails. Now let's construct the support for the upper level, made of inclined transparent layers. First, we remove the last rails of lanes 3 and 4. They will be repositioned later. We now position 3 stackers as shown, followed by 3 height columns on top of them. 2 of these are what we call open height columns. We add 2 more stackers and open columns. Then finally connect the lane 3 and 4 catchers to their curved tiles. Here's another perspective of the setup. We add a few more columns around the area. Here you can see why we need this special construction. For the planned transparent layers, this height column is required, necessitating a broader base. We incorporate a few angled stackers onto certain columns. Later on, we'll cover these columns with transparent layers. Thanks to the angled stackers placed on just one side, an inclined surface of transparent layers can be formed. We then construct the second series of columns, height and angled stackers, upon which additional transparent layers will also be placed later. Next, we add the third series of such support columns. Here again, we see why the special construction was necessary to accommodate the required third leg of the transparent layer support. Here's another angle with the transparent layer in place. For the fourth and final series of support columns, light base extensions and light stackers are used once more. Now, all that's left is to place the transparent layers on the support columns. Funnels can now be easily positioned above the catchers for the 4 external lanes. However, when it comes to the catchers for the central lane, it's a different situation. To resolve this issue, we position a sextuple flower bridge above them. Then we add a few ball boxes as counterweights to stabilize the setup. Now we can place funnels above all 6 catchers. Ideally, we would use 3 entrance funnels instead of the classical 2 entrance ones. However, since we didn't have enough of them, we used both types. Now let's take a look at how we constructed the upper level lanes. The upper level 6 lanes were predominantly constructed using curved tiles. At times, an additional stacker or small stacker was necessary to facilitate a smoother transition between curved tiles placed on 2 adjacent transparent levels. And of course, a few rails were also used to connect curved tiles to each other. But essentially, these were the only elements required. However, shortly before reaching the lifts, a series of spirals was installed. On top of each of them, a spiral head was positioned. These spiral heads are very versatile. You can build spirals of any desired height and connect elements of any direction to each other with them. Here, since the border lifts were somewhat higher than the inner ones, the border spirals also had to be higher. Nevertheless, thanks to the spiral heads, the connection direction to the lifts could remain the same for all spirals. In the next step, we connect the lifts and spirals with rails. However, higher spirals tend to wobble more than shorter ones do. Therefore, for stabilization purposes, we add tile attachments on top of the 2 external, higher spirals. Thanks to these, we can connect the E-lift and spiral together, using one of the inline bridges already presented. To reinforce the structure, we finally add ball boxes on top of the bridges. That's it. With the marbles added and the 6 lifts started, the track is ready to run continuously. We hope you enjoyed our construction explanations. See you soon for a new track.